All right, welcome back to the shop. So I've got an M1161 here that we just finished. This one is ready for the customer to pick up. When he sent it to me, it had a couple of problems. He was doing some work on it. He did a lot to it, cleaned it up. It's a real nice growler. She's in really good shape. She hasn't seen any salt water. There's not really any rust on it. She's in really good shape. The two issues that he had, the real main issues, was the camber on the front. You can see there's it looks like there's quite a bit of camber on here, what's odd is I put an angle meter on here and I did to mine, and they both had the same degree, but for some reason this one just appears like it has a camber issue. So we did some work to it, and we put a new upper ball joint on it on this side because this side was worse, so it's got a new upper ball joint. I shimmed out the top control arm to try to push the angle of the tire out a little bit, and I did move it somewhat. I didn't go too far because I didn't really want to throw things out of whack. What he's going to need to do is to take this thing to an alignment shop, probably like an off-road shop that does alignment, because they'll be able to tackle something like this. Whereas like a regular automotive alignment shop, they might not be able to understand it if the book or the computer doesn't show them what to do. So anyways, we fixed that. I got that in really good shape. It's really not that bad. I don't know why it appears to be a little bit different. One other thing that made it look a lot worse before was it had a street tread tire on it, and they didn't have much of a shoulder on here, and it made it look even more sloped, and I think that was part of the problem as well. So we had these other tires. I've got a friend of mine that bought a set and recommended them. So I told him about these, and he bought them on eBay, had them shipped to me. We had another growler in here too, the last 1161 I sent out with the same thing, where he sent the tires to me and we put them on. So with the new tires and the work that we did to it, I think it's fine. I think it looks really good. But if a shop could get that camber straight, or wherever it should be, it'll be better for sure. So some other work that we did to it, the CVs. He had a problem with the CVs popping out, and I believe he might have been riding it with the suspension too high, and that was part of the problem. But you get into a ditch or something like that, and then it would put too much of an angle on here, and it was popping the CVs out of the diff. So this is actually the one I did a video on a while back, where I showed how to redo the boot, how we stretch the boot out before we tighten the band clamps on it, and that way it's got air pressure kind of in there when it collapses, because these are a sealed airtight joint, these boots are. So if you start with it all the way collapsed, when you pull it out, put it in when it's in the vehicle, it's gonna have a kind of a suction pulling on it. So we went the other way. We pulled it out as far as we could, clamped them down, and hopefully it's gonna push into the diff a little bit. Plus we changed the circlips on both the front CVs, and we changed the seals as well, going into the differential. So that should help that. And that's why this boot looks all weird like that, with the bellows all kind of popped and twisted. It's because it's the way we did it. It's got extra air in there, and it's kind of pushing out on everything. But it's not going to hurt that CV boot. We also, on the steering, had a lot of play in the steering rack. Yeah, this has the older style. Right here's the adjuster on here to adjust the rack. So we adjusted that. Got a lot of the play out. Got that cleaned up. Okay, and then as far as the engine compartment, he already did an oil change on it, so we didn't have to bother with the oil filter or the engine oil. We did change the fuel filter. We changed this hose coming from one of the selector valves up here to the fuel filter. It was all jacked up, so we changed that. We changed the steering filter on it. We had to top off the steering fluid, obviously, after doing that. We did the windshield wiper blades. A lot of little details we do. Some of it I don't actually put in the videos. It's just a lot of little details that we do kind of get, as we're going through these. And the differential fluid, we also changed the differential fluid in both differentials, as the customer asked us to. As well, we always check that anyways. I've seen them where they've been empty or nearly empty. So we always want to just change them out and make sure there's no water in there, no moisture in there. And then coming down to the transmission, he had changed the filter in the transmission, and it came with a cork gasket, and the cork gasket was leaking, so we pulled the pan, resealed that. And one of the other complaints he had was that there was a lot of drivetrain noise, especially in four-wheel drive. So we were working on it down here, and the oil, we went to drain the oil out, and it was like black, and it had a lot of steel and a lot of junk in it. And if you grab the drive shafts and rotate it, you could hear the chains actually slapping the case inside the transfer case. So we pulled the transfer case off, rebuilt it, but a kit that came with bearings, seals, a new chain, and totally resealed that, and it's working good. It's real quiet now. We installed a new mirror on the left side here. I have these in stock, but the owner did send one. He sent one with it, so we changed that. I didn't get a chance to paint it. I was out of paint at the time. I just got some in a little bit ago, so I'm going to send a can of paint with him so he could paint that, touch up anything else he wants to touch up. Well, let me go here. The light here for the engine heaters, it was broken, so I found one of those. I sourced it. It's exact same everything except the color. It's red instead of yellow, but it's all I could find. But it's an identical match to replace the original one, aside from the color. We put a key switch in here so he can lock it out. Left the original start switch. Just a lot of the guys I work on these for want to keep that original switch, and then we just put a key switch off to the side just so they were able to lock it out. You know, if he's using this on his own property or whatever, he probably won't even need to lock it. But if he takes it to the store or wherever, you know, he's going to want to lock it. I talked to him about this. He will drive this on the road. He's also going to drive it on his property. So when he takes it to the store or takes it wherever, he'll be able to, you know, lock it up just like any other car. As far as the console in the middle, it had the radio mounts here. We took that out, made a plate for it, and replaced that, so he's got room for ice chest or whatever, you know, cooler, whatever he wants, or he can put cup holders there. Anything but that elbow busting radio mount that sticks up there. And then up here on the top, it had the front bars, crossbars here. It didn't have the rear ones. Most of those, you know, are always missing. It didn't have the C-pillar either, so we put a C-pillar on it, made a set of crossbars, had a canvas top made for it. This is the third one that we've done a top like this on. It's not the same material. It's not exactly like the original, but you know, it works. It's really good material. It's a military canvas, and you know, it's sturdy enough. It's going to last for a while, and it'll keep the rain off you, and it's going to keep the sun off you as well. You know, and it covers all 4 seats instead of just having the front canvas. You know, and the front 2 guys get the shade, and the back guys are in the sun. You know, everybody will get shade on this one. All right, and coming around to the back. We changed the CV boots on both the rear axles. The airbags were in really good shape. It still is the original Firestones. They're real nice. They're not cracked up or anything. They seem like they're going to last a long time. We, you know, cut the rear steering welds and added the struts in there for the locks. You know, every one but one I've worked on, those struts have been bad, so it's almost routine to just change those. And then coming up here. He already changed the filter. He put a new filter on his air compressor. We added a battery disconnect in here. We changed the one-way check valves for the air ride suspension so that it doesn't come out in the morning and this thing's you know, either front end's laid down or the rear end's laid down. This way it'll stay up. And I've had this thing sitting out here for over a week without it even creeping down. It just sat there without any problem when I had the transfer case out. So that's all sealed up and good. As for the upper ball joints on both sides here on the rear, the rubber boots on there were totally rotted out. So instead of changing the whole ball joint, you know, if the ball joint's good, we don't need to change it anymore. I found a really good source for a new boot for those. So we're able to just take and change the boot, and it's way cheaper than changing the whole joint. And that way we're not throwing a good ball joint away. You know, we've had some that are worn out, we've had some that are bent, and we change them if they're bad. But if it's just the boot, it's a great solution for that, because it'll buy this thing another 10 years without any problems. So it'll hold grease and it'll be, you know, it'll work fine. And then coming around to the right side here, I took off the original air tank drain and put a cable pull tank drain on it, and we did the same thing to the front tank. You know, as I've talked about before, this air tank that's made in the frame right here, it has a drain, but it's so far up in there you have to pull the pans out to get to it. Real pain. So we put a cable pull right there so you can drain that front tank as well. So overall, this is a really nice growler. You know, like I said, there's no rust. She's in really good shape. The air suspension system works great on it. The CTIS system works great on it. Everything's working good on this thing now, so hopefully it's going to run a long time and do good for the owner. And that's it for ITV number 93. Thank you for watching. You know, the reason I put these videos out on these is for history on these things. In 10 years, 20 years, who knows who's going to own this thing, and you're going to be able to look back at this video and see history of it, see kind of what happened to it from the time it left the military to when it got into the civilian world. So please, if you like the videos and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you like the video, please hit the like button. and keep an eye out for my videos. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when I have a new video coming out. I've got some other vehicles lined up shortly. In about a week and a half or so, 2 weeks, I'm going to be picking up an M3 half track, and I'm going to be doing some work on that, doing some work on the brake system, putting a set of rear tracks on it, and I'm going to make some videos out of that too. So stick around, and thank you for watching.